And it's great to see Perry sporting a GT Radial moustache as well. So from the front row of the hair lip, let's take a look at the front row of the grid. It's Radisson, Scott, Fogg and McIntyre. How good is that? The blue ovals, 1, 2, 3 and 4.
Row 3 and 4, it's Manuel and Peterson, McLean and Anderson.
Great to see Andrew Anderson up there in car number 70, followed by Proctor Perkins, the GT Radial Ford Falcon, and then the Aussie Bernard.
Andy Boo starts out at 13, Hardy on 14, and Andrew Porter rounds out the top 16.
Back towards the middle part of the field, it's Ross, Edgell, Penny and Adams.
Position 21 is Adam Brook, Mackenzie alongside him, Williams and Luke Uren out of 24.
Henderson, McLaren, Lambert and then Simon Richards in the ballistic Ford Falcon from Hamilton.
And Eddie Bell and Inky Tulloch round out the field of 30.
So lining up now for the second race of the GT Radial 200 for the NZV8s.
Out of line and do not overtake.
The word coming back from the team radio, it's the winner of race 1, Paul Radisich, fastest in race 1, who once again starts on pole for race 2. Right beside him, Kane Scott, Fogg on board the Heveline Racing Falcon as we wait for those 5 red lights to go out and go racing.
Go, go, go.
Tighter start this time from Radisich. Well, Foggy having to go up the inside.
The Rat covers them off though as they head towards that first corner. What a great tussle.
Kane's on the wrong side of the track here. As Foggy goes through, doesn't leave him any room. McIntyre gives him one for his help. And there goes Manuel up the inside. He's going to get that position too.
So all on right from the start, the second race in the NZV8s, and it's Fogg out onto the grass.
They're all off.
All having a crack big time, trying to catch the Rat.
Well, Foggy's got a burst of speed here. Certainly had the wood over Radisich down the front straight at the start.
Well, he tried to dip down the inside and then the Rat basically sort of covered that move, but he's got up ahead of the field, and also Manuel having a move, and big crash there. Timmy Edgell and the Chester's car's just gone straight into the tyres.
That is a pretty unfortunate accident, and hope that everything, where's the red light, red flag?
Red flag.
So once again, plenty of drama in the NZV8s. We get one lap underway and also one big crash.
What is it with the red flag on lap 1 and the New Zealand V8s? Edgell's out of the car, that's a good sign. I hope any marshals have been collected in that.
So the big field snaking around, looked like a couple of cars got tied up. And then a bit of a shunt from one of the cars.
That's Penny into Adam Brook, who in turn went into Timmy Edgell. Put him off in such a way that he had no way of recovering. Let's see what goes on here. This is on board Adam Brook, and that's Penny in front. And there's the left front wheel, a stash of smoke out the left front and a wobble. Maybe he doesn't know at this point in time that he's got a broken front steering, and this is Brook heading up the inside. Edgell's going to appear on the right. Bang, bang, and no return.
And looks like Edgell's just been edged out to the right with those cars just basically taking his racing room, and there goes Penny off on the other side.
Well, he can't turn. This is on board Perkins, and he's just ahead of that praying, and this is Mark Peterson and Proctor on the left here, squeezing up into the right-hander, and whoa, there we go.
Wow, all over the place, cars crashing, bit of the old biff and bash. So it's another paddle slapping start to race 2. Back with more on the GT Radial 200. Welcome back to Power Build Tools Raceway. Once again, we've had a start, we've had a crash. Now we're set for another restart.
Go. Nope, hold in, they've gone to yellow, Green again. Go. Light space.
Well, a bit of confusion there on the racing radios as Fogg once again takes Scott down the inside, and Johnny McIntyre gets an absolute flyer as well.
Well, Kane just got caught napping there. You see the gap that Radisich had. Foggy had another go up the inside. So he's real sharp on these restarts, on any start for that matter. McIntyre gets a spot back on Kane, and Manuel's the big loser out of that one.
So let's see if they can snake through this tight, twisty part of the infield this time with the cars all on the track. On board Mark Pedersen.
Bit of a procession through here, but easy to get a bit of a nose to tail or someone slows. See how they has to slow up, back off.
Mark Pedersen, 36-year-old, celebrating his birthday this weekend in the XR8 United Video Falcon. Former three-time champion.
Mork now a dad for his first time as well.
Yeah, raving about young Dylan. Very happy. Oh, off the grass. That was GT Radial's Perkins. We know he loves it sideways, but man, not during a race normally.
Manuel showing a good bit of speed at the end of race one, and certainly now as Kane Scott slips up the inside of McIntyre.
Well, he got off to a bit of a slow start, Scotty, but tell you what, he's starting to beam up Johnny Mac now's Radicic, Fogg. Great battle between McIntyre and Kane Scott. How many times have we seen them side by side?
It's normally John McIntyre's the master at doing those sneaky inside moves.
Scott gets up the inside of the Fujitsu Ford Falcon. Back on the pace this weekend. Hot day, Canterbury, hot racing so far. Andrew Anderson there in the Pine Pack ITM Commodore. Great rebuild by the team to get him back out on track as well.
And we've got 16 laps to go. What a great distance. Emmanuel now tucking up the inside of McIntyre. He's on the wrong side of him.
Looking back from Kane Scott's Fujitsu Ford. That's a great shot of the defending champion. Johnny Mac hounding him.
Watch for Emmanuel try and cut back the other way.
Bit of a patience game for the drivers through this tight, twisty part, Drakey.
Yeah, it is. It can be quite frustrating if you've got a faster car, because if the guy's got half a brain in front of you, he'll be able to hold you out. But this is where it goes all wrong here.
Oh, it's sliding wide. That's Andrew Anderson in the Qmu car, the Pine Pack Commodore.
That's the result of actually hounding someone through all those corners, is that's where it sort of all goes bad. Can't get your power down after sort of sliding it around.
And sometimes the drivers have to wait for another guy to make a mistake to try and make up some ground as they head towards the big sweeper. Onto the front straight. Great shots on board Clark Proctor's middleman car.
He's actually showing a good bit of speed there. It's, you know, for his pass on Anderson here on the back of the McLean Tex on-site car.
Look at that lead of Paul Radicic, though, winner of race one. Out to try and make it 2 from 2 in the 777 HPM Ford Falcon. Fogg second, Scott third, McIntyre, Manuel, Pedersen, then McLean.
On board the GT Radial car through pothole. Let's look at this picture as we come into the braking zone. Oh, beautiful. Oh, smoke, something's going on up here at the Epping, and it's Anderson off. Anderson obviously not happy with his Commodore at this early part of the race, and that's not a good sign.
Well, they've done a fantastic job just to get that car out of Nick Ross's from Cambridge and get it up to Qmu and get onto the track here at Ruapuna after the big crash at Pukekohe. So it's great to see him racing along. Dean Perkins, he's been back on the pace a bit this weekend, good in qualifying.
That's a replay of... that's Perkins giving Bernard one. Bit of friendly New Zealand Aussie love.
Well, they say it's door handle to door handle, panel to panel racing. The NZ Truth V8 sensational racing here at Powerball Tools.
Oh, McIntyre!
He's gone wide. He's made a mistake, and that's let Manuel slip up.
Well, McIntyre showing a couple of signs of not handling the pressure.
He says they've improved the car from race one, but just pushing perhaps a bit too early there, got it a bit wide onto the grass and slips back a spot.
Yeah, he really went into that first S too deep.
One of the many drivers who find that carousel part of this circuit very frustrating, because you have to basically keep it tight without losing it. Here he is trying to have a duck down the inside of Manuel, try and pick up some more ground.
He's just going to have to slow it down there. I wonder with the Manuals. He's standing in the middle of the road. I don't think Paul's going to pop back up the inside.
Loves this corner, pothole.
Whoa, that car is sliding everywhere. Look at this. Oops. You need to keep an eye on what's going on there, mate.
Mark Pedersen trying to go around the outside. That's a real squawking magpie you can hear. These cars under pressure, tyres, brakes, everything, all happening.
Emmanuel obviously got back past on that one. Boy, McIntyre on a bit of a wild ride. I tell you what, that BP Ultimate car's not short of mumbo.
He is on a carousel ride here at the moment, isn't he? He's looking back from McIntyre onto the Ford Falcon, the XR8 United video of Mark Pedersen. Procession of V8s like a freight train through here. All following the 777 car of Paul Radicic. Even Fogg, they get it wide up onto the ribbles there.
Well, it's there, you can use it.
Scott having a look down for second place now. Manuel in a nice little wee tussle.
Let's see what's going to happen this time with the speed of that Ford showed over the Oryx Commodore. Oh, problems here. Listen to that. Gearbox or diff.
Doesn't sound good for Mark Pedersen. Oh, what a sad sight. He's been forced to pull off. And looks like his race may be done for the day. For race 2 anyway. Let's get an update with Roger Davis.
Gary, looks like Mark stopped out there. What's happened?
I was just telling him on the radio how well he was going, and the next minute he said, well, it's just stopped going well, and there's a bit of a bang, probably a drive shaft. That's all I can think of right now. We've done our best with everything, but something's gone wrong, that's for sure, and just stopped. Definitely in a drivetrain.
So it's hot, dry and dusty today. The Commodores further back down the field. Booth and the Tasman Firepower Commodore has a happy weekend so far, followed by Andrew Anderson and then Andrew Fawcett and the Strawberry Homes Ford Falcon. Cam Hardy, Nick Ross and Hayden McKenzie. Out in front though, it's Fogg under pressure from Kane Scott now.
Great pictures out of that track cam as they exit the first S. Oh, Foggy's locked a wheel up there.
On board Kane Scott.
Oh, he's got inside too, look at that. Sneaked past him.
Great shots, putting you right in the driver's seat here on the NZ Truth V8s, and that's the vision of Fogg trying to say, no, I want my spot back again.
And he's not in the right place though.
Kane Scott to second.
So that's the team telling Paul Radicic what's happened behind him. Look at this, McIntyre having down... Oh! Just clips the side of Paul Manuel. Almost a moment there for Johnny Mack. And that's our hydraulic best under pressure moment.
And their long shot shows McIntyre trying to slip up the inside, rides the back wheel of the Oryx Commodore. I don't know whether that's going to be the end of that attempted pass. It could have inflicted some damage, and here's on board McIntyre running out of road. Runs over the right rear, maybe over the bumper, but very lucky to get away with that.
No room on that railway track. Plenty of room, though, for this guy out in front, Paul Radicic, trying to make it 2 wins in a row in the NZ Truth V8. Slides it wide. A chance here for Kane Scott.
Wow, some uncharacteristic errors coming here from the big boys. Just can't help but sort of wonder whether or not something might on. And then Scott's locks some wheels. Something's going on with the tracks. Maybe there's oil out there.
Former two-time World Touring Car Champion back into the New Zealand V8s. Cam Hardy.
Well, maybe there was something on the track. There's fire at the back right rear of Hardy's GM Autospears car, and Nick Ross involved in that as well.
So that's hardly the place that Hardy wants to park. He's obviously had some sort of brake problems.
I just looked out the rears of all in good order, mate.
All right, roger that. We're going to have a lap or two on the safety car, so there'll only be about 3-4 laps to go. Just keep control of it, mate.
That's the benefit of radio contact with your team. As Hardy plows off at the hip, and he's gone almost straight off. So it would indicate that something has gone wrong with his brakes. Something's
broken. So he's unfortunately out of it at the GM Autospears Commodore. Another one of the Waikato racers, Cam Hardy. Great guy, loves his motor racing.
And that flame out of the back almost gave it away too. It's a restart.
So another restart. And it's the Rat once again, now followed by Scott. Quicker this time.
Again, he's caught Scott out again.
Towards that first corner, they fly into it.
A lot of the guys sort of napping here. Look how far the field's spread out before they even get to turn 1.
Radisson, Scott, Fogg, Manuel, McIntyre.
Proctor still behind McLean.
Then it's that V8 procession around here at Powerbull Tools Raceway. Manuel trying to have a look down the inside. Not enough room though. How close can he get to Fogg?
Not much. He would have got a wave there from Foggy, I'd suggest. But actually, Kane Scott, the fastest man on the track. 1 minute 32.39.
Really starting to fly on that Fujitsu Ford Falcon. This is the battle further back down the field. That's the Kitchens for less car of Michael Wallace. Dunedin, Boothie all over him, and the firepower. Well, he's down on firepower this weekend, the Tasman Commodore, isn't he, Booth?
Yeah, he's really struggling. This is Fawcett.
Wellington property developer and the Strawberry Homes car, looking at the rear of the Pine Pack ITM Commodore of Andrew Anderson.
And that's Wallace sliding around, and that Booth in there in the middle. And here's Boothie. There's going to be 2 for 2 here. Boothie's going to go out the inside, and so is Fawcett.
Forcing his way up the field as the other guys go a little bit wide and just slip off the track. Tyres, brakes, drivers, cars, all under pressure in the heat. In the sensational South Island Race 2 of the NZ Truth V8s.
Well, Wallace must have got past Booth earlier on before that safety car period.
Last lap now, so it's Paul Radisich trying to make it 2 wins in a row in the NZ Truth V8s. And he's got 2 other Fords right up, pulling up to his bumper. Kane Scott and Angus Fogg.
Foggy now showing a bit of turn of speed. Let's see how defensive everyone's going to get. Into the hairpin. Scott's going to have to cover. And Foggy actually slipped clean up the inside of him last year. Caught him napping.
Scott in the Fujitsu Ford Falcon, the racing Heveling Falcon of Fogg, and the HPM 777 car of the Rat.
Further back here, this is a 94 car, Heveling car of McLaren. Oh no, Inky Tulloch involved in another one. And the Heveling car there just locked the rear brakes up. You saw it slide its way into the hairpin, and this is Scott now.
He's all over Paul Radisich. Foggy getting a little bit wide, but towards the end of the very dramatic 18-lapper, it's Paul Radisich trying to go for 2 wins in a row. Can the Rat bring home the bacon?
Well, this is Kane. Kane's got a totally different line. Here he goes. He's going to have a go.
Last look, last corner. Paul Radisich, can he hold on? He's got the inside run down to the checkered flag, and he's done it. That makes it a Ratatouille. Scott second. Fogg comes home from third. What a race. Let's confirm that. It's Paul Radisich 2 from 2, followed by Scott, Fogg, Manuel, McIntyre, McLean, Proctor and Bernard.
Perkins 9, Booth 10th, and he took that from Wallace on the last lap. Fawcett, McKenzie, Yulden 14 and Adams 16th.